over and over, frankly, over the last 24 hours. Protesters attempting to take down the statue of Andrew Jackson. That, of course, did not happen. Law enforcement moved in to secure the statue. Not before it was defaced, however, but today it was clear the president was frustrated and he's had enough.
I don't know.
We are looking at long-term jail sentences for these vandals and these and these anarchists and agitators, and call them whatever you want. Some people don't like that language, but that's what they are.
That's what they are.
They don't love our country, and they're not taking down
They hate our
I
country.
just want to make that clear.
They want to take it down.
Sort of clarified his thinking on Twitter. He said, "I've authorized the federal government to arrest anyone
Authorize the federal government to arrest anyone vandalizes, destroys any monument, statue."
For the Veterans Memorial Preservation Act,
Wow.
or such other laws that may be pertinent. President meanwhile did
Thank you, President Trump.
Of Arizona today, speaking to
Awesome.
thousands at an organized
Awesome.
event by Turning Point Action.
Thank God for
That trip
President
coming as
Trump.
He continues to tout the ever-expanding border wall system, which he says is doing a phenomenal job of securing our southern border. But that trip does come amid a bit of controversy, as coronavirus hospitalizations in Arizona have now hit a record number. Arizona, in fact, reported a record high of 3,591 new cases, with nearly 60,000 known cases in the state overall. But as the president has noted repeatedly, the rate of testing is also way up, and the mortality rate, thankfully, is way down. So, for context, do keep that in mind. Meanwhile, back out live here.
Mortality's down, exactly.
We are in the Black Lives Matter Plaza. As you see, a relatively small contingent of protesters here. Law enforcement have been here. We've been here since
They all came out of their mother's basements
here, swapping out different shifts
to take down Andrew Jackson's statue.
Pretty much the entire time.
Unbelievable.
All right, Kevin, keep us updated. Thank you very much. New Yorkers fired up over fireworks, trying to force the mayor to crack down on this by blaring their car horns outside his mansion late last night. Mayor Bill de Blasio now forming a task force to crack down on the, quote, public nuisance of the fireworks. We'll see your correspondent Rick Leventhal.
Well, they're coming after their own. They came after Garcetti, now they're coming after this one, Cuomo. They're doing fireworks over here too.
Nights of looting. Now we learn that fireworks
Can hardly sleep.
have skyrocketed across New York City, with people setting them off across the 5 boroughs pretty much every single night, whether it's boredom or a form of protest or rebellion. Local leaders say it's out of control. In the first 6 months of last year, the city got about 1,000 fireworks complaints. This year, more than 12,500 in June alone. It's illegal to buy, sell, or ignite them in New York.
Exactly.
The mayor says
Put them all in jail.
will crack down, focusing on suppliers with undercover operations targeting the sources. And interestingly, today, as you mentioned, the day that this crackdown was announced, it followed a noisy protest outside the mayor's house last
Look
night.
at that.
Drivers laying on their horns to call attention to the problem.
Unbelievable. Look at these idiots.
We're going to start a huge sting operation to go and get these illegal fireworks at the base, meaning everywhere they're being sold around New York City, and even where they're being sold in surrounding states that we know are flowing into New York City.
You better
Well, fireworks are the last
do something.
of officials in Seattle who announced that they would be
Or else Trump's gonna come in and bring the National Guard.
After 3 shootings over the weekend left 1 dead and another critically injured. But instead of vacating, the protesters have been moving concrete barricades and fencing, practicing human chains and other forms of resistance, and refusing to clear out of the 6-block area unless numerous demands are met, including reducing the Seattle police budget by 50%.
Thought it was just a block party.
Ceded that zone to these anarchists and vandals and rioters, ignoring the rights of the 30,000 good citizens who live there and pay taxes.
The wildest block party I've ever seen.
The unrest could affect Seattle's future. The CEO of a billion-dollar investment firm said that he's moving his firm to Phoenix just in time, although the company, Shannon, says that the move was in the works for months.
They don't want to be there.
In New York, thank you.
Too many crazies.
Breaking tonight in Atlanta. Here's the scene where our Steve Harrigan has been reporting. This is at the Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed. Well, our Steve Harrigan talked to a couple of people there who say there were armed citizens on site, and they explain why.
There is no police presence here. There's no one else to protect us. So me and my fellow brothers are here to protect each other.
And he didn't say police would be welcome when Steve asked him about if they did show up there. Now we're going to continue to monitor the situation in Atlanta. Meanwhile, in Minneapolis, the president of the police union there speaking out for the first time since the protests erupted. Officers are blaming a failure in leadership for all that widespread rioting and looting and destruction and the violence that's been on the rise there. Mike Tobin has the
They
story.
just let them do what they want.
Police officers say the retreat from Minneapolis 3rd Precinct was planned in advance.
I came in for my board meeting at noon, and I was informed by my board prior to our meeting that I was asked if I emptied my locker, and I said no. And they said, well, you need to go empty your locker. They're giving up the precinct.
4 officers unable to clean out their lockers were those charged in connection with the death of George Floyd. Their gear was some of the body armor, radios, and even weapons that went out the door. When Brandon Wolf, an alleged looter and arsonist, was arrested, police say he was wearing the body armor of Officer Tutau.
Our understanding was there was going to be a symbolic victory for the rioters, that we would give them something because it was the 3rd Precinct that the officers worked out of that were involved. And then that would quell the disturbance, and they would stop rioting and take it as a victory and go away.
It didn't work. The next day, State Patrol
That's
troopers and the National
ridiculous.
Guard established a perimeter and a curfew. The line fell apart. No curfew was enforced, and Minneapolis burned.
The biggest
Think these
barrier
people are gonna
that I observed
stop or
was
anything?
communication, not just between
It's ridiculous.
our front office or our admin down to the officers on
It's
the
a
ground,
crazy
but
lefties.
across, to the State Patrol with the National Guard.
The Police Officers Federation claims a total failure of leadership, absence of direction, and a lack of equipment because city leaders feared a police force that looked militarized.
They felt vulnerable and they felt abandoned. Cops want to know what in the hell happened. Why weren't we given directives to do anything? Why couldn't we defend ourselves?
Now, with the Minneapolis City Council looking to disband the department entirely, police say the morale of the rank and file is at an all-time low, and gun violence has spiked in Minneapolis, with more than 100 people shot since George Floyd was killed.
They don't need to get rid of us. They need to get more of us because there's nobody out here equipped to handle what's happening in our
Looking
city.
like the south side of Chicago now.
The police union rebuffs claims of racism or that they protect bad cops. Like all of us, leaders in the union say they were horrified at the video of George Floyd being killed. Still, the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association is obligated to provide a legal defense to all police officers, including those accused in this case, and they intend to honor that obligation. Shannon, back to you.
Mike Tobin in Minneapolis, thank you.